Is a bittersweet moment for all of us here at CBS News. On Sunday, Chief Washington correspondent Bob Schieffer signs off as host of Face the Nation after 24 years.
He is also retiring from a journalism career of more than half a century. As a young newspaper reporter, Bob went to Vietnam to cover the war. He worked at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram on the day President Kennedy was gunned down in Dallas. He brought Lee Harvey Oswald's mother to the police station.
Bob started his legendary career at CBS News in 1969. He covered the Pentagon, State Department, Capitol Hill, and the White House. He also anchored the CBS Evening News. We will visit with Bob in a moment, but first, a few moments from a remarkable reporter's life.
Here we go. This is the last take. I'm Bob Schieffer of CBS News. The questions are mine.
And I'm going to sing you the story of my life.
Bob Schieffer, CBS News, New Delhi.
Oh, I'll let you start, Bob, since it's your show, you know.
This is the CBS Evening News.
And this is Bob Schieffer reporting. Good evening. Today on Face the Nation, we knew you real political junkies would be up to join us this morning.
I can't tell you whether Bob Schieffer is a Republican or a Democrat or a Libertarian or a vegetarian.
Let's try to tell the people tonight some things that they haven't heard.
He asks straight questions and he asks tough questions.
If you didn't threaten to shut down the government, who was it that did?
How can so many reputable, respected professionals keep pressing on with this?
Well, that's your characterization, not mine.
Do you like politics? Do you like this job?
His essential question is always, what the heck is going on?
What in the world were you talking about, sir?
You're gonna be a TV anchorman.
I think I finally found honest work.
I always wanted to be a journalist, and I got to do that.
It's the new American.
Bob Schieffer joins us now from Washington. Good morning.
Good morning, Charlie. And you did catch the highlight of my life that day that our little band was invited to be at the Grand Ole Opry. That's still a high point, I got to say.
So what are you going to do now? Go on to a career as a country and western singer?
Well, they haven't been exactly lining up at the door to offering me recording contracts, but I'll tell you, if one came along, I might give a lot of thought to that. That's my buddy Brad Paisley that night, and Brad has become a very good friend over the years.
What will you miss the most, Bob?
You know, I'm just going to miss, Charlie, exactly what you would miss, and that is being in the middle of things. I've kind of been in the middle of things for a long time now. I've had access to the people who make the news, who have an impact with their actions on the rest of us in this country, and I just never got over that. I mean, that's the reason I wanted to be a reporter. You know, I always got a big kick out of being able to go behind police lines where other people couldn't go, talking to these people who made the news, and I guess I have to say that's the part that I'm going to miss the most. But I'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
But why did you decide, Bob, that now was a time, just as the presidential campaign is ramping up, which in your line of work, this is a reporter's dream, why did you decide now is a time to say sayonara?
You know, I'll tell you, Gail, and I thought a lot about this, and this was a calculated decision. I wanted, number one, to be able to walk away from this job when people still thought I could do it. I mean, I've just seen too many people here in Washington that they hang around, and then somebody has to come get them by the hand and say, come on, old fella, it's time to, you know, get back, get in your car and go back home. I just didn't want to do that. And I felt like CBS is doing great these days. CBS News is doing great. I think we're doing a great job. And CBS's Face the Nation is in very good shape. So those were the reasons that I decided I wanted to do it. John Dickerson, who's a great friend of mine, who's going to take my place, I also wanted to give him time to kind of settle into this job over the next 3 months before the campaign year began. So those were the reasons that went into the timing here.
There have been so many wonderful things being written and said about you at this point. One of my favorites was simply, he's someone that never became Washington. But I'm curious, in that chair, how do you feel like Washington has changed from when you started to now?
Well, it's been turned upside down. I mean, as has everything because of this revolution in communications. You know, we now don't know where people get their news. But what we do know is they're bombarded with information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Most of the information is wrong, and some of it wrong on purpose. It is our job, I think, in mainstream journalism to try to cut through this mall of information and tell people what we think is relevant and what they need to know about. That is the job of the journalist, and I have to say it's harder and harder. The other thing that has changed, of course, is this influx of money. I mean, our campaigns have become, I have more billionaires than you do, so I'm a viable candidate. I don't think that's what the founders had in mind when they started this country. And I don't know where this goes, but I think something is going to have to change on that front, because what we have now, people have to sign off with so many special interests before they get to Washington that once they're here, they can't compromise. And when you have a government and a legislative body that can't compromise, you have what we have, a legislative body that's in constant and total gridlock.
Bob, I speak for everybody at this table, everybody at CBS News. We are so proud to have called you a colleague, and everybody that's in this business would like to have the life and the impact that you have had and bring the values that you have brought to broadcasting. So we thank you for this, and we hope to continue to have your friendship and see you occasionally as you leave Face the Nation.
Charlie,
but not our
I
lives.
thank you. I thank you, and I want everyone to know nobody enjoyed this more than I did. I loved every minute of it, and I appreciate all the nice things that people have said here at the last. I don't know if they're deserved or not, but it's been a wonderful life for me.
They are well
Thank you
deserved,
all.
Bob. Bob told me recently the only thing he knows he won't be doing is Dancing with the Stars. So whatever you
My
decide,
wife
Bob,
says no way.
we're cheering you on.
Thanks again.
Thank you, Gail.
Thanks, friend. We invite you to join Bob on Sunday for his final edition of Face the Nation. His guest, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush and CIA Director John Brennan. That's Sunday, only on CBS.
Bob Schieffer joins us now from Washington to talk about this week. Bob, good morning.
Good morning to you, Charles.
For some 24 years, we've shared our Sunday mornings with Bob Schieffer while we've been busy exploring the world.
Today on Face the Nation, Secretary of
Bob's universe has been mainly politics.
Do you like politicians? Do you like politics? Do you like this job?
I can't tell you whether Bob Schieffer is a Republican or a Democrat or a Libertarian or a vegetarian.
And who isn't a fan?
You know, I watch Face the Nation every week.
Now our esteemed neighbor is moving on. Whatever Bob has in mind for his next act,
Gonna be a TV anchorman.
whatever, on this his final Sunday on Face the Nation, we say, so long, Bob. You're the best.
Today marks my official debut, as it were, as moderator of Face the Nation. Our aim is going to be very simple here, to find interesting people from all segments of American life who have something to say, and give them a chance to say it. That was me 24 years ago, and today is my last broadcast on Face the Nation. But we're going to keep with that tradition set nearly a quarter of a century ago. We'll stay focused on the news. And there is news this morning. Secretary of State John Kerry has been injured in a bicycle accident in France, and Beau Biden, son of Vice President Joe Biden, has died of brain cancer. Plus, we'll hear from potential Republican presidential candidate and former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. Now, you're not telling me that there is a possibility you may not run.
Look, I hope I run, to be honest with you. I'd like to run, but I haven't made the decision.
And the director of the CIA, John Brennan. I'll also have some personal thoughts on 58 years as a reporter, because this is Face the Nation. Brendan, I'm going to let you say your name for us, because I've said it about 6 ways today, and I apologize for that.
Well, coming up, Dr. Robert Arnott.
Ooh, I'm sorry, I dropped a cup of coffee. This has been a very unusual morning.
4 that wanna hold me, 3 that wanna scold me, 1 says she's a friend of mine. Well, Hillary Clinton is at the tail end of a 6-nation tour of Africa. You'd think she'd be exhausted, but there was the Secretary of State last night cutting loose at a reception in South Africa. She didn't even flinch when this diplomatic dance took an unexpected turn.
We'll be back next week with another show about what else politics. See you on Face the Nation next Sunday. Well, that's it for us. We'll see you right here next week, rain or shine, on Face the Nation. That's it for us. Remember our troops who are away from home and their families back home, and we'll see you next week right here on Face the Nation. Well, that's about it for us today. We'll be back here right same place, same time, same station. So thanks for watching, and we hope to see you then on Face the Nation. And that's it for us today. As I say goodbye for this last time as moderator of Face the Nation, I want you to meet all of the people who have worked so hard to make this broadcast what it is over the years. Face the Nation was here long before I came to CBS. I know I'm leaving it in good hands. I want to thank our team, and I want to thank all of you for watching. It takes a lot of folks to get this show on the air, and I'm really proud of all of them. So here they are, and I want all of you to take a bow.